Are you ready for your life to be changed? Well, you are in the right place right now. Welcome to the Julie Tussey Show. We have a fantastic podcast for you today. It's called It's Never Too Late and You're Never Too Old. That's right. If you are breathing and if you have a heartbeat, you are a candidate for success in your own life. I think you're going to really enjoy this. In this podcast, we talk about a song called Resplendent that Gary and I wrote and recorded and landed us a national record deal. So I'm going to let you hear a little bit of that before we go into the podcast. You guys enjoy and please do subscribe. Get on the Julie Tussey train. We're going somewhere, baby.
Pop the glam pain. It's time for the Julie Tussey Show. Live guests, current events, scathing exposés. The original suburban bombshell, the big blonde baby, giving you the fastest, funniest, most informative 30 minutes of your life. And now, here's Julie Tussey.
Welcome to the Julie Tussey Show podcast. I am so happy to be here with you today. While I'm here with you on the podcast, we are also on Facebook Live. So hi, everybody. Welcome. They've been with me a few minutes before you, and we've had some shenanigans going on, but lots of fun there. Also, I'm recording on video, and you may see me turn away from you for a minute. That's because I have a second camera over here, and I don't necessarily always want my jawline on there 100% of the time. So I have had some great things happening this week. I hope you have. I hope you've had a fantastic week so far. Things are popping. Well, last week, this releases, by the way, every Monday. So if you're on iTunes or iHeartRadio, Stitcher, wherever you're reaching out and listening to the Julie Tussey Show, please do subscribe right now and let your notifications know. And every Monday morning At midnight, it will be in your box. It will be in your player, ready to go, ready to get you ready, because we want to keep you in the know and we want to encourage you like none other on this podcast. That's my whole motive. That's why I do it. That's why I study and get notes together. Is because I want you to have a great life. And a lot of times we don't realize that a great life is simply choices, that we have to make some choices. So we've been talking a lot about dreams. We've been talking about our inner dialogue and how to change that. You can go back to episode 141. Is it 41 or 31? You guys should help me on Facebook because I just did this last time. Let me look at my notes. I think it's 138, 39, 40, and 41. That's what it is. Look, see, I just had a little moment, a little blonde moment there. And we talked about girl, wash your mouth out. And it really was like how I got back to my roots of learning to watch what I say, So good. So go back and check that. Then we just did 6 steps to get your dreams back. Wow. That did really, really well too. And today I'm going to talk about it's never too late and you're never too old. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Before I do, I want to give a little bit of a shout out to a couple people and talk to you about a couple of things coming up. I just talked with my really good friend, Robert Hopkins. He is a evangelist, and I have known him since he was 14, and I was not much older than him, and we kind of grew up in church together, and we were a force to be reckoned with. We were fun and exciting and wild. Anyway, I was talking with Robert, and I told him I'm getting ready to record a new gospel album. It's 5. I think I'm going to do 5 songs, but who knows? Once I get rolling, it might end up being a full out LP. But I was talking to him and he asked me, he said, Julie, is there any place I can come down with you and we can do some meetings together? And I said, why, yes, there is. So we have booked the dates of July, and put this on your calendar, July the 19th, 20th, and 21st at 7 p.m. And we're going to be right here in Richmond, Kentucky. We'll give you more information about that, but block that out on your time. That's the 19th, 20th, and 21st of July, right here in Richmond, Kentucky. This guy is awesome, and I'm going to be singing to you, and singing is going to be so fun. So I am like totally geeked. It's a really cool time in my life. People that I used to work with in the Christian circles, in the Christian music circles, and some of my best friends that we just haven't seen each other for years. We've stayed in touch, but are just getting reconnected. So it's a really good time of reconnection for me, and I am so excited about that. I wanted to tell you that we have a new P.O. box. Now, when you do Christian music, people like to send you stuff and they like to send you gifts. And sometimes when you do a podcast, just if you're like crazy like I am, they're going to send you stuff. Yeah, so I wanted to give you our new P.O. box. I'm so excited about it because I was born in a year. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to tell you that part because then you'll know how old I am. And I might actually share a little bit of that today. So this is like highly, highly classified information because I have been 30 a while. Anyway, P.O. Box 263 here in Richmond, Kentucky, and it's 40476, not 7576. So if you want to send me something, you can send it there. I can't wait. I love to get mail. Is there anybody else like that? I mean, I loved email when it came out because I could get it all day long instead of going to the box once a day. So that's me. I love to get mail. So there it is. P.O. Box 263 40475 is the zip code here in Richmond, Kentucky for post office boxes. Wanted to give a shout out to a special viewer today. Her name is Lawana Wilson, and I just love this lady. She has come and seen us sing. She is so supportive on Facebook. I mean, she likes and loves and communicates everything that we do. And I just want to say I so much appreciate you, Lawana. She is the owner of Little's Detail Center here in Richmond, Kentucky, and you can reach her at 859-979-0686 and get your car detailed. I'm sure she does even more than that. So whatever you need to get cleaned, you can call this girl. She's going to do an amazing job for you. So Lawana, I love you. Thank you so much for always supporting us. Wanted to let you know, too, we're adding underwriters to the podcast. So if you're interested in becoming part of the podcast and helping to underwrite part of the programming or sponsor it, if you have a business and you need advertising, you can PM me. You can DM me. I was thinking we should start a GM me, like a glam messenger, because it says pop the glam pain. You know, I'm all about the glam. Or you can email at thejulietusseyshow@gmail.com and let us know you're interested. We'd love to meet with you and talk to you about that. So let's get into this message. It's never too late and you're never too old. Oh, my Lord. So I've been 30 for a while, right? And I do remember when I was in my teens, I actually started in my music career in 1980. That's right. See, if you're good at math, you're going to figure this all out and know the truth about me. So I started my music career in 1980, and I wrote and released my first album in 1989. I thought that it took way too long for me to wait to have an album released, because that's all I wanted to do from the time I was a child. Okay, so I guess when you're in church, you just trust God and you go with the flow. So at that time, I was already 26 years old before I released my first album. I just talked about it on the last podcast, and I thought I was younger than that. But I was 26 when it was released. Of course, it took a year of working on it, writing the songs, getting in the studio, all that. Then in 2006, Gary and I wrote a song called Resplendent. So all those years, from 1989 to 2006, I'm singing, writing, going out and being, singing in churches and doing all that, becoming part of ASCAP, all of these wonderful things that happen when you are, did I say your number wrong, Luana? Did you just post it? Oh, okay. She said I said it wrong. It is 859-979-0696. Not 86. All right. So that's for Luana. Go ahead and reach out to her. Thanks, sis. So all of those years we're pursuing our dream. We are pursuing our dream. And of course, as you're pursuing your dream, you are getting older every year, right? Well, there's this trick in life where either you feel like you're too young to do something, or you feel like you're too old. You know, the old story, there was a guy who felt like he was called to preach, and he was really young. And so the devil told him, you're too young, you're too young, you're too young. So he decided in his mind, well, when I'm 30, then I'll be old enough to preach. And so he didn't do anything. Finally, he gets to be 30. And the day he turns 30, the devil says, you're too old, you're too old, you're too old. Well, no, it really is. Age really is a relative term. Inside I feel about 23. So all this time I'm getting older, right? And I'm thinking, God, am I ever going to make it? The big break, like Elvis had the big break and everybody had the big break. Am I ever going to get the big break? Little did I realize that as I'm doing this, I'm accumulating a lot of accomplishment, 7 CDs. And so a lot is getting done. By the time we wrote in 2006, we wrote a song called Resplendent, which I played for you at the beginning of the live and which will be played at the beginning of this podcast. And it's called Resplendent. And that song was so cool because Gary decided to play the guitar. He played when he was a kid. Then he kind of laid it down and played piano for years and years and years. And then one day he just decided guitar. Well, he can tell you his story of why he decided that. Maybe he'll talk about it on his podcast, but something happened and he decided that guitar was what he needed to do. And so for hours on end, because we were in a bad financial position at that time in our lives, it was around 2006. Here to show you the impossible is possible if you only believe. To get your own copy of the And Dance CD by Gary and Julie Tussey, including the song you heard on this podcast, go to cdbaby.com/CD/JulieTussey4.
Hi, this is Marilyn. I'd love for you to go and subscribe to the Julie Tussey Show Fabulous Cooking on YouTube.com/C/TMETV.
If you're in the central Kentucky area and you need excavation, we are your company. That's right. Tussey Excavation is here. We are certified. We can dig out anything that you need dug out. We can put it back too. It's an amazing, amazing company. We are here for you. Give us a call, 859-489-6159. That's Tussey Excavation. Here to show you the impossible is possible if you only believe. And now, back to the Julie Tussey Show. He was home a bit, so I would go take 3-hour bubble baths because Gary was rehearsing guitar. So one day I go out and I put dinner on the table. I sit down and Gary said, Julie, I want you to hear this song that I just recorded. And so I didn't know he was writing music. So he wrote this music and I sat down to eat, and he started playing that music, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. And I said, I didn't even eat. I said, that's it. Give me that. I'm going to write it right now. And as I was going to write it, I heard this word in my heart, resplendent. And I was like, well, I think I know what that means, but I don't even know what it means. So I got the dictionary and I looked it up, and I sat down in the alcove of our kitchen while they ate dinner, and I wrote the lyrics to this song, Resplendent. So it's really, really cool. It says, I'm calling to you, my lovely. I'm calling to you, my darling. I created you, my baby. I created you, resplendent. And it was kind of really cutting edge for church, because who calls who baby in 2006 in church? You know? And then it says, come to me. Oh, come to me. I'm calling you. Come to me. And it's just such a cool song. You can actually get it on, I brought the cover. You can go on cdbaby.com/CD/Julie Tussey 4 and get it. And it's off an album called And Dance. Okay, so what happened was we went ahead and we just did in 5 weeks from there on out. In 5 weeks, we made another album called Hillbilly Praise. That's also on CD Baby. So if you just search our names, you'll find it. And we were so excited, but this was just my favorite song. Well, it wasn't long after that I reached out to a record label that I don't even know how I knew they were looking for artists. So I reached out to this record label and I submitted the song Resplendent. Well, 2 weeks later, a contract shows up on our door. That was one of the most exciting things in our entire life, was getting a national record deal with this record label. So this song was re-released in 2007. Okay, so I started this music career in 1980. And I'm getting older and older and older and older. And if I wasn't careful, I could have fallen into that trap of, okay, now you're too old. Now you're too old. Now you're too old. So it was released in 2009 on a national record label. So we're talking from 1980 to 2009. That is a long time. And I even hit on it before, you know, when you go to the Dove Awards and you see the new artist. Well, no, honey, no. It's like 20 years in the making or however long. So I've been doing this my whole life. And then in 2012, we released a blues album called Big Blonde Baby. And now here at the age of 34, over 20 sometimes, I am now doing the Fabulous Cooking Show. So I want to talk to you about it is never, ever too late. And you just need to follow the dreams in your heart. And maybe you've had to work your whole life and you're getting ready to retire. You're never too old to do anything. The college here, we live by EKU, and the college here literally offers for people who are, I think it's 65. I think it's 65. It might be 62. But you can go to college for free. And you know, there's a reason for that. There are so many people that don't even get a good start in life until they're older than 50. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that real quick. Hey, just put my notes away. All right, so here's some famous people that you may recognize their names. I'm certain you will, that did not get a start until they were older, okay? Julia Child worked in advertising and media before writing her first cookbook when she was 50, launching her career as a celebrity chef. So she was 50, so I'm right there in the cooking with Julia Child. Hi, everybody. I can't see your comments, but I want to say hi to everybody on Facebook Live. Ray Kroc. Now, there's a movie about this, and if you'll have to Google it because I don't know what the name of it was. Gary and I watched it, and it was so good. Ray Kroc spent his career as a milkshake device salesman before buying McDonald's at the age of 52 in 1954. He grew it into the world's biggest fast food franchise, McDonald's. That's right. He is the McDonald's man. Laura Ingalls Wilder, who doesn't know her name, spent her latter years writing semi-autobiographies, stories, using her educated daughter Rose as an editor. She published the first in the Little House books at the age of 65 in 1932. They soon became children's literary classics and the basics for the TV show Little House on the Prairie. Who didn't love that? Still love it. She was 65 when she published her first book. I am telling you, darling, it is never, ever, ever too late. If you are breathing and have a heartbeat, it is not too late. Vera Wang was a figure skater. I did not know that. And a journalist before entering the fashion industry at age 40. Today, she's one of the world's premier women's designers. I mean, she's in Kohl's. You can go and buy her stuff. I have Vera Wang shoes. I have like 2 or 3 pairs of her shoes. Love her shoes. But she was 40 before she even got into the fashion industry. So see, it's never too late. I love this. Harlan Sanders, better known as Colonel Sanders, was 62 when he franchised Kentucky Fried Chicken in 1952, which he would sell for $2 million 12 years later. Okay, so let me look at my time. I got time. I'm going to read you his story. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Hopefully I don't stutter too much. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. That was the Colonel Sanders, Harlan the Colonel Sanders. Harlan Sanders experienced a very difficult life as a child. He was born into poverty. His father died when he was young, and after his mother remarried, he was severely beaten by his stepfather. Needing to escape the abuse, he went to live with his uncle. Wanting a better life, he falsified his date of birth to enlist in the U.S. Army. After he was honorably discharged, he moved to Alabama and tried to have the quality of life he didn't have as a child. He married Josephine King in 1908, started a family, and was holding down a steady job, but things weren't in the stars for him to have the dream life he had hoped for. While he was away on a business trip, his wife gave away all their belongings, moved back to her parents' home, and divorced him. He was told by his ex-brother-in-law, quote, "She had no business marrying a no-good fellow like you who can't hold down a job," while he was working. Over the years, Sanders had many jobs, including steamboat pilot, streetcar conductor, insurance salesman, railroad fireman, farmer, and service station operator. Then, in the midst of the Great Depression, he bravely opened a gas station and a small restaurant named Sanders Court and Cafe, where he served family-style meals. His popularity grew, and he moved the restaurant into a much larger site where he worked on a recipe for pressure cooker chicken that cooked much faster than being fried. Things were beginning to look up for this tenacious man from Indiana. People were coming from all over for his famous chicken. Duncan Hines listed his restaurant in Adventures in Good Eating. He got remarried in 1949 and was given the moniker of Kentucky Colonel by Governor Lawrence Weatherby. Having already established his brand, quote unquote, with his white suit, black tie, shock white hair, and beard, he drove around in his Cadillac with his face painted on the side. I love that. I love that. I think I'm going to have to get my car painted. Wink, wink. So going from town to town, he finally meets Pete Harmon in Salt Lake City and awards him the first franchise. In return, he was to be paid 5 cents for every piece of chicken sold. 5 cents for every piece of chicken sold. That is a lot of chicken, my people. That is a lot of chicken. But in 1955, another dark cloud hovered over his life when an interstate was built near his restaurant that deflected over 75% of his clientele. At the age of 65, when most people are retiring, he closed his doors and found himself flat broke. I have been there. Thank God I wasn't 65. I'm thankful for that. The one and only thing the Colonel had left in his arsenal was his famous chicken recipe. He believed in it so much that he sold his gas station, took his first Social Security check, and went on the road to sell the recipe to restaurants. And if you do the research, I believe a long time ago, Gary and I looked it up, that was not very much money. It was just a couple $100, I think, in his Social Security check. As they say, the rest is history. By 1964, there were over 600 Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken franchises in the U.S., Canada, and England. Although Sanders sold his interest in the company for $2 million, he continued to work until he died in 1980 from leukemia. The gallant colonel was 90 years old. Potential entrepreneurs can find hope in the story of a man who at the age of 65 could have easily given up and retired. It's been said that Sanders was turned down more than 1,000 times during his attempts to succeed at an age when most people would have retired. And I'm here to tell you that it's not necessarily easy. It's not necessarily easy to continue on, but I believe that you are here for a purpose. I truly, truly believe, and you guys know this if you listen to me, that if you are here and you are breathing and you have a heartbeat, you have a purpose. And there's always a purpose for you. There's no sense in ever feeling like you have to retire. If you have dreams, you should follow them. You should definitely follow them. But it's never too late and it's never too old to do what is in your heart to do. Isn't that an awesome message? I love that so much. Well, I am so glad that you've been here with me on the Julie Tussey Show today. We have so many wonderful things going on. If you're in the Richmond area and you're looking for a new home, we have our company Tussey Homes is building homes here, and we have a beautiful 2,100 square feet home that is a 2-story with an open floor plan available. So give us a shout at 358-9304 and reach out to Curtis Rose and he will show you that house. It's awesome. Don't forget to mark your calendars for July the 19th, 20th, and 21st. We're going to be having a really cool meeting there for 3 nights in a row with Robert Hopkins Ministries. He's an evangelist, and we are going to have some crazy music. It's going to be so fun. I'm looking forward to that. This is Julie Tussey telling you, you only get one life. Live it to the fullest. Ladies, if you want to shop some amazing, amazing products, go and visit my website. Go to thejulietusseyshow.com/shop. That's right. I said that magic word. You're going to find some amazing and beautiful products there. We have new earrings for spring that are just light and gorgeous. Body bars that we have hand designed that we literally chose the fragrances and essential oils for. A new product line coming out, kicking it off with some great CBD oil from Z-Lease, a great new product line we'll be bringing and introducing to you very soon in a full podcast. You're just going to find amazing things there. You can also reach out to me there, listen to the podcast, check out previous podcasters and people that have been on the show. So go give it a try. Go give it a look. thejulietusseyshow.com. Here to show you the impossible is possible if you only believe. After a week of hearing hundreds of I can'ts, I'm here today to tell you you can. Find us on social media at facebook.com/The Julie Tussey Show and Instagram, The Julie Tussey Show, home of the original suburban bombshell. If life is my oyster, darling, pass the hot sauce.